We have our podcast tomorrow. Maybe a live stream tonight. I don't want to promise that yet. But what I will say is we're almost to 162. We're getting there. We're creeping up. We're almost 30% the way there to our next 1,000 subscribers. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive in. And first, we're going to go over Capcom's financials quick with a few posts from Stealth40K, who covered it. In 2026, Capcom plans to grow to over 4,000 employees for the first time in their history. And you can see this kind of consistent growth going on from 2021 all the way down to 2026. And they're going to be, about 8 developers, 12 developers more than they had last year in terms of game devs. So not all of these new hires are going obviously into the game development sector. You can see the increase here, but it is just interesting to see that Capcom continues to grow. Nintendo has been growing in a very similar fashion as well. That's usually a sign of companies being pretty healthy. Next up, we have update sales here for Capcom. So Resident Evil series has hit 183 million units. We know Requiem is almost here as well, so that's going to add to it. Monster Hunter series has hit 125 million. Street Fighter has hit 58 million, Mega Man at 44, and Devil May Cry at 38. Then you see the Dead Rising series at 19, Ace Attorney at 14. We know the new one of those is coming. Dragon's Dogma at 13, Marvel vs. Capcom at 13, Onimusha at 9, Okami at 4.8. Obviously, there's some other franchises, but these are ones they're still actively supporting, and Capcom wanted to highlight them. But more than that, we obviously have updated game sales for them, and that's one of the biggest things that we get out of these financial reports is game sales. And you can see here that their Q3 game sales, Monster Hunter Rise sold about 1.09 million, now reaching 18.27 million. Resident Evil 2 sold an additional 1.46 million, now getting almost to 17 million. Resident Evil 7 sold an additional 1.68 million, getting it almost to 16.5 million. Resident Evil Village sold 2.28 million, actually boosting that up to 13.5 million units there. Resident Evil 4 sold an additional 2.34 million, getting that up to 12.25. So the Resident Evil games doing really well for themselves. Devil May Cry sold an additional 2.42 million, getting to 11 million. It is notable a lot of these games, by the way, were on extreme discounts, of course, because they're a little bit older. Resident Evil 3 seeing another, 1.08 million that actually made it cross into the 10 million, almost 11 million for Resident Evil 3. Monster Hunter Wilds added 991,000 last holiday, getting that up to 11.09. And then we have Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak is an additional million sales there, getting up to 10.9 million. And then Street Fighter 6 got an additional 1.68 million, getting to obviously 6.36 million total. Obviously, I really enjoy most of Capcom's offerings. We all know that Rise already has stuff in its code base suggesting they're working on it for Switch 2. Will it ever actually come out for Switch 2? That's a whole different story, but we'll just have to wait and see. You know what we don't have to wait too long to see on, because it's already been announced? Virtual Boy coming to NSO. Feels weird talking about that in 2026. And I'm going to tell you right now, the Virtual Boy games aren't very good. I've played many of them, but now you can experience that part of Nintendo history for yourself very soon.